This is Coffee with Colleen in my bedhead and all. We'll see. I am new to YouTube Live, so we are just kind of playing with it. We are just here experimenting a little bit, seeing if anybody's around and up and about. I have been doing these Coffee with Colleen morning chats for about 5 months now, or 4 months every day. And I just like to come on and talk about how I'm building my third act, aka over 50, this whole next chapter, and some things that I am trying to. Hey, good morning, Sherry. Uh, Things that I'm working on in this third act. I think it has an opportunity to be our best chapter yet. Like we get a chance to build a whole next life, but we do need to be intentional about it. We need to be intentional, and so that's what we always come on and talk about. Now, I had a very early morning start this morning at 7 a.m. now, where I am 5 a.m. The fire alarm in my building started going off. So we've been up for quite a while with the firemen. It was a frozen sprinkler head that set off. I'm in a commercial apartment building. So, of course, the whole building goes off. Everybody has to evacuate. It's 8 degrees outside. So it's a good morning wake up call. There we go. But we come on here and we talk about our third act. It's always me and Trixie. She's sleeping here next to me. I think what's really interesting about the time we live in is we have so much opportunity, and sometimes it's overwhelming to know which direction to go. And then you add to that, life happens also. I think the older we get, more stuff starts happening. Lots of big changes, loss, transitions, empty nesting, all the things, right? Retirement, laid off, whatever it is. But you come into this, I think we get to this third act, and it's like, it's my turn. Like we've done all the things we were supposed to do. So you're like, I can do whatever I want. And then you're like, but what is that? What do I want? Right? And it's obviously different for everybody. Everybody's different. I know a lot of people like suddenly crave a lot of travel and adventure. I've had a life where I've done a lot of travel already, for personally and for work. And so I think I'm more of a homebody adventurer now. We'll see. We'll see. But one of the things I'm doing in 2025 as part of my plan to figure out how I want this third act to look, this next chapter to look, is I'm organizing a series of what I'm calling mini adventures. Because the first thing we have to do coming into this third act, I think, is figure out who we are now, which isn't really evident all the time, right? It's not evident all the time. Hello, anybody who's joining. This is Coffee with Colleen. You get me my bedhead and my coffee. I think coming into this third act, we need to stop and just kind of reassess. Who are we now? Who are we at this stage? Who are we? What do we like to do now? What do we want to do now? And just kind of reevaluate our goals and our priorities and just what the heck we want to do. Because I think it's real easy. A lot of times we get so busy with life, we don't stop to think about what we want. Or at this stage, we don't even stop to evaluate what we want to do. And so I think, that's important to do. I think inventorying yourself is a good way to do this, where you just sit down, pen and paper, and you just start listing everything you know how to do, everything you love to do, everything you aspire to do, and see what that looks like. See if there's any patterns or themes there. And I think it's just good to get in black and white, get yourself in black and white again, because it's really easy to no longer see it, right? It's really easy to no longer see it. Hello. And I think getting it in black and white, and by the way, these inventories, they're never done. So I came up with these inventories over the last few years. So over the last 7 years, I've lost everybody, everything in my life. My life is flipped upside down. I'm starting over. I'm 57 now. So the dominoes started falling at age 50. But when I started looking at, well, what do I want to do next? What do I want to do now? I came up with these inventories as a way to just start kind of identifying who I am now. And so the inventories is, oh, same. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're starting over. It's a lot, right? But the inventories were a way just to kind of not reevaluate, just kind of find myself again in a sense. I mean, I'm not like corny or cliche that way, but I did a lot of reading, I did a lot of journaling, and that wasn't really helpful for me. So these lists, I'm a list girly. So these lists, oh, good. Welcome from the TikTok. Welcome from the TikTok. Hopefully it'll be back soon. But I'm going to be live streaming on multiple platforms. So hello. Hello, Angela. So these inventories were very helpful. And it's really just inventorying, start with the obvious. Start with like your skills, like official skills, things you've done in a career, things like that. But that's like the easy part. I want you to go deeper. I want you to almost document your life. Hey, Toy, good to see you again from the UK. Carry a pen and paper with you. And this is going to sound kind of ridiculous, but I want you to document your life from the moment you get up to the moment you go to bed for at least, several days. And I want you to write everything down that you know how to do and that you enjoy doing. And when I say everything, I want you to get kind of ridiculous with this exercise. I want you to be like, I'm really good at cleaning the kitchen. I'm really good at cooking an omelet. Whatever it is. And it's not about every little detail, but it's about just getting familiar with yourself again. And there's definitely something really kind of affirming when you get in black and white, because what's going to happen is you'll have pages and pages and pages of stuff that you're really good at and stuff that you enjoy doing. And that's just a little affirming that you have that, right? Yeah, so it's a great idea. So what we do then, once you have several days, what I want you to do is to go back through and look for themes and patterns of like things you enjoy doing. Nobody enjoys cleaning the kitchen, right? So this is not something you're going to aspire to do more of, right? But I want you to look for themes and patterns, because what has happened a lot of times is we have forgotten something that we really enjoy doing, or it's been put on a back burner because of other responsibilities. And I want you just to recognize that again as something that you can bring more of into your life. Now, I'm an online business coach. So what I'll often use these exercises for is to help people find maybe like a business idea, something they can leverage online as an online product. But just generally speaking, with your, just with your life, when you're figuring out this next chapter, I think it's a good exercise just to see yourself again and reaffirm. And I also want you to write down things you aspire to do. And I would also say, and this isn't officially on the inventory, things you no longer aspire to do. Because I think one thing that happens sometimes is we'll get a goal or a vision in our head, like say in our 20s, and like, oh, we've never achieved it, but it stays there. Like, I'm like, take it off the list if it's no longer serving you, right? Let's see the comments here. I'm new to YouTube Live, so I'm just figuring this out. I've been so stuck since being widowed. It's taken me some time to realize that I'll be okay. I know how to do a lot. Yes. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm widowed it'll be 7 years in March. It's a process. It takes time. It takes time to do any kind of like new identity, to build a new identity. I don't know if the hearts help here, to be honest. Hey, Rochelle, good morning. Exactly. I'm leaving the old goals behind. Yeah, I think it's just important to reevaluate. I mean, sometimes things we aspired to 10 years ago, I just don't aspire to it anymore, or it doesn't make sense, or whatever it happens to be. Um, so I think that exercise is good. And then what you do with that is you look for the themes and patterns. And if I mean, something's going to jump out like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about that thing. I totally forgot that I like to do that, or I totally forgot I'm good at that. And then do more of that. And I know that sounds like so basic and kind of simple, but we forget. We forget and we get busy with life, right? You get busy with life. And if you've undergone any major transition, widow, divorce, whatever, building that new identity is a lot. It's a lot, especially if you've been in a relationship for any significant amount of time. I mean, I had been with my late husband almost 30 years when he died, like more than half my life. And we don't realize how much our identity is tied, obviously, to that relationship, to that role, to that everything, right? And so we have to find a way kind of back to ourself, right? We have to find a way back to ourself. So yeah, so Toya, like yourself, because you have 4 children, right? That's a lot. Like your identity is wrapped up, obviously, being a father. And so when you do have the opportunity to carve out time for yourself, I would say, do it. Because I think, what happens is, like, I don't have children, but people I see that have children and then suddenly they're empty nesters. It's like such a hard transition because their whole identity was wrapped up, obviously, in family, children, the responsibilities around that. And then suddenly that responsibility is gone. And it's a little jarring because you're like, what do I do now? Or maybe the better question is, who am I now? Right? I was married 30 years too. I'm sorry. 37, widower, and scammed. Oh, I'm sorry. It is starting a totally new chapter. And then you add to it, more complexity, of course. If, I'm 57, female, obviously, and I'm just coming into my own realization at this age that I have never really been first in my life. I think, especially as women, we have our roles. Every gender kind of has their roles. And you get to this point where you're like, wait a minute, what do I want to do? And we have to look hard. We have to dig deep. And I think some of the challenges can be sometimes you've had like a vision for yourself. I always call it the Disney movie. Disney writes the script and we're all supposed to, play our roles kind of thing. And then you get to my age, 57, and there's no more script because we're just supposed to kind of fade off into the woodwork as an older woman, right? Which that's bullshit. But anyhow, you get to this place. And I think what's a little jarring is oftentimes the vision we had for ourselves or the role that we were playing, so to speak. It's either taken away, widow, divorce, whatever it is, like it's ripped out from under you, or you just kind of have a realization that maybe maybe there's more. But it's a little jarring because when you've had like a vision for yourself for so long, that's very unconscious. Like I never imagined I'd be widowed at age 50. Like I just assumed I'd grow old with my husband. And so when that vision is taken away from you, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Right? And it's hard to get a new vision, or maybe it's hard to trust a new vision. It's hard to trust yourself. Yeah, Disney lied. Disney lies a lot. A lot. 51, yeah. Yeah, if you're 51 and so you don't envision, it's hard to trust a new vision. And you couple that with midlife, menopause, all the things, getting, coming into this third act. It's a huge transition. And I think the interesting thing is, I'm sorry, you get my bedhead this morning. um, Sometimes we don't trust the new vision because sometimes we start thinking like, well, maybe I should go do, and you're like, oh wait, that is out there. That is out in left field. Could I really do that? So it takes a while to kind of trust that vision. It takes a while to trust, but I think in order to even start to build that vision for yourself, you have to just get very reflective on yourself. And I think, like we talked about a little bit yesterday on here, you have to start documenting yourself, get reacquainted with yourself again, and start questioning everything. Everything. I think that's a really important way to kind of uncover who you are as a person, because, we're kind of given a set of beliefs and values when we're born, our family system, our community system, all the things. And a lot of times, if you sit back and ask, like, do I actually believe that, or was that given to me? Like, I think I've had a lot of conversations like that around like politics. I'm not having a political discussion here, but people kind of like, well, wait a minute, when I stopped and think about it, do I actually believe that, or do I believe that? So kind of along those lines, just to establish yourself as an individual, what you believe, right? Let's see, it's been hard to know what we're going to be okay, but I seem to be getting it done and really have been okay. You are okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, I'm sure you've had people say, oh, you're so strong. And it's like, well, I didn't have a choice. When you lose everything, you don't have a choice, but eventually you're like, okay, I'm okay. I can do this. I can do this. I'm considering traveling a lot more now with my kids now, which is wild at 51. Do it. 51 is just the middle. Like, we're all going to 100. So it's just the middle. Yeah. What was important no longer seems important. Yeah. And I think we have to allow ourselves to, grieve. That's kind of a dramatic word. Old dreams like that are no longer happening when life changes. And when you experience loss or trauma or, any big shit happening in your life, it always helps you internalize some hard lessons, right? That you do get new priorities. You do get some things just seem really trivial now. Like, really, that's not important when you've had, substantial stuff happening in your life. It's so strange because most men I know think a mature woman is so much more attractive and desirable than so-called younger women, but on the internet say otherwise. Yeah, I mean, there's so much wrapped up in that. I mean, society, of course, the older woman, it's been a form of conditioning and manipulation in a patriarchal society. It's a way to make a shit ton of money in the quote beauty industry. But I think when push comes to shove, older women are attractive because we know ourselves now. We're not naive. We know ourselves. We're more frank. I know I am. Yeah, less drama for sure. For sure. Yeah, the beauty product market is worth billions. And so the only way it works is to make us insecure about our appearance. And unfortunately, that has, become indoctrinated into our society. And by the way, there's just as many men that troll women for their looks as women that do. So there's that. I don't really worry about it anymore. I did a video over on TikTok, which I'm sure is going to be back tomorrow. I'll still be here, but it's going to be back tomorrow. But I did this whole video one day. I was just sitting there. I'm like, I am just so, can I say the F-bomb here? Effing exhausted as a woman. You see, everything is anti-wrinkle, anti-aging. Everything is about your physical appearance. And I did this video like, I am just so tired of never being right. as a woman. Because as a woman, you are never right. You are too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too bold, you're too shy. You should smile more, you should smile less. You shouldn't dress like that. You should dress like this. You should not color your hair. You should color it. Like, there is no right. And I had this realization one day. I'm like, I'm right for me. That's good enough. It was kind of a very liberating sensation. Yeah, they've conditioned the public to think beauty is the be all end all, but it is, yeah, it is temporary. Yeah, it's a power struggle. And we were talking about this yesterday. Like, what I crack up at, and I'm sure anybody who has experienced a lot of loss, especially on like I don't want to say unnatural loss. We all die, but I mean, like, you expect great grandpa to die, right? But when you experience loss younger, it's I say it all the time. I'm like, society has it wrong. Getting old is the flex. Getting old is the power move. Everybody gets youth. Everybody gets youth, right? Getting old is the flex. We don't treat it that way, but when you reframe that, you're like, yeah, wait a minute. Yeah. Getting old is the flex. Yeah, not sure where people got the idea that their opinions of others' bodies is even their business. Society, it's a power struggle. It's a power move. It's a patriarchal thing. Keep women in their place by criticizing something that's not controllable. Like, literally, we all age biologically, but it is what it is. But we don't have to live by that. We don't have to live by that at all. Yeah, aging is a privilege, 100%. Yeah, our husbands didn't get the privilege. I would say the harder loss for me was my sister. It'll be 3 years ago in March, to colon cancer. She was 57 at the time. I'm like, she didn't even get 58 years on this planet. She would give anything for another day. I'm like, a few wrinkles I don't give a shit about. Like, seriously. That's like so unimportant. It's and when you start living that, like, I don't care what other people think, it's like such a power move. Shit just doesn't bother you. Like, I mean, I've only been live on YouTube for 2 days now, so I can't speak to it. But on TikTok, I used to get a lot of trolls in the morning, a lot of trolls, men commenting on my, you look old, get off the app, your glasses are stupid, you look stupid, all the shit. And now I'm just like, whatever. Like, it just doesn't bother me. Like, I just don't. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so kind of back to the inventories. We have to figure out who we are now. And it's a little jarring because sometimes we find out we're somebody really different than we thought we were, if that makes sense. Yeah, they're insecure chair warriors for sure. But we often find we're very different than we thought we were. Like, when you wake up and realize that, the whole Disney script is bullshit and reality is very different. And it's a little jarring because it's kind of sometimes hard to accept the new vision for yourself, because it could be something wildly unexpected. Like, you're saying, I'm going traveling with the kids at 51. Who knew? Like, who knew I'd be a travel adventurer? It's sometimes jarring because it's a new vision when we've had these really long held visions of what we were supposed to be. And so figuring out the new thing is very different. I often, I've said, like, the last few years, how different my life looks now than it did. Like, my home where I live, it is 100% me, 100% me. I mean, I have hot pink rugs. I have colorful furniture, wildly different. It took a while to get here. It took a while to uncover that, to unpack that. It takes a while, and it's trial and error. It's trial and error. Just scared of your beauty. I think men get intimidated, consciously or unconsciously, of maybe older women, because they know they're not as manipulatable. And we all manipulate. I'm not saying men think, like, as humans, we're all what's in it for me. We all come with an agenda. But I think they realize that, you know, older women's like, yeah, been there, done that, Bob, not falling for it. Right. So they kind of know. They know that they're going to have to bring something different to the mix. I'm cooking differently, changing my house up, getting rid of a lot, listening to all kinds of new music. Yeah, we do. We do. And it just takes a while to kind of uncover that again. It just takes a while to uncover it again. And a lot of the stuff is like long forgotten, and a lot of it's just new. And like, that's interesting now. I definitely think a lot about how just different my lifestyle is now. Yeah, see, Alice is big business. That's an interesting conversation. You know, Viagra and those drugs were originally produced and studied for female heart health. However, Big Pharma in this United States of America of ours decided there was more money to be made using it for other things. Anyhow, little trivia fact there. So it does take time. So I look at my lifestyle now, just how different it is. I mean, my husband, he was from Germany. He was a soccer player. So there was like a lot of sports on the TV and a lot of that. And now like my big like Saturday night is I sit home and I watch masterclass.com. I got a subscription to masterclass.com. And I'll just watch, I don't know, like I'll just watch anything. Like, I'm curious. So I'm like learning about everything. Right. So I just like, I haven't had a soccer game on in years. Not that I don't like soccer. It's just my life is incredibly different now. It's just Trixie picks in myself, little Trixie here. I know tricks. We've been up since 5 a.m., by the way, because we had a fire alarm go off in my building. So I had to evacuate. And of course, it wasn't a fire. We have trouble with, it's a large commercial building, obviously. And it's frigid here. It's 10 degrees where I am and windy, 10 degrees Fahrenheit and windy. And there's a problem with the sprinkler system. There's like an outside thing that freezes and triggers the alarm. So there was that at 5 a.m. Very early. But being able to just kind of rediscover yourself. And I think the more interesting thing is letting yourself try new things. So that's where I started with this. So one thing I'm doing in 2025 is I'm organizing these 6 mini adventures, right? Hey, Beth, good morning. Trixie and Pixie. Yes, my Starbucks is very good. Although there was a line for it. So I have a Starbucks like machine, not a coffee shop, but a big commercial machine in my lobby. And of course, since everybody was down there at 6 o'clock, I guess, whatever it was, because of the fire alarm, there was a line to get coffee, of course. There was a line. But letting yourself, so these 6 mini adventures, it's just about kind of getting yourself outside of your bubble. Do something you've never done. Go somewhere you've never been. And it's not even for the sake of you're going to do that thing forever. It's just get yourself out of your bubble. Get yourself out of your bubble. Right? Get yourself out of your bubble and just go see something different. Try something new. It doesn't have to be a big, long thing. So, like I've been talking about in my membership community, I've been looking at, the bubble is crippling. Yeah. And I think we don't realize how much we're in a bubble when we're in the bubble. You don't see it. So until you get out of it. But some Like, just go try something new. So in my membership community, I was talking about a few places to find. So I had found that document from my friend, um, Brittany Finkelstein on TikTok, that she had literally created a document of 1,200 hobbies to try, right? And it was all categorized. Some of them were like aerial. I'm like, I am not doing trapeze. I'm just going to say, not doing it. But anyhow, so looking through that list, and then I went through um, the local community college here. They always have continuing education, like adult education. So I went through those to see what there was. So there were some fun ones that I'll probably, I'm going to maybe do that today, is kind of finalize my 6 mini adventures. But one of them was like an improv class, which I thought would be kind of fun. I thought improv would be kind of fun. And one of them was, I don't know if I'll do this one or not, but baton twirling for adults. And I only say that because I twirled baton as a child, like age 7 to 9. I just thought it might be kind of funny. I found a folk art school in my state. That would be fun. See, it's just go try it. Now, I did find some things, like there was like a watercolor class, but it was like 10 sessions. I'm like, that's too much of a commitment. 10 sessions, that's too much of a commitment. You should get one. They're so fun. Baton, yeah. I mean, I twirled as a child, so I don't know. I twirled 50 years ago, and I just happened to see it. And I thought, well, why not? It was just like 2 Saturday afternoons. It wasn't a long-term commitment. Good morning, Z. But anyhow, it doesn't even really matter what the thing is. What matters is get out of your bubble, and just try something different. I think that's the way to burst the bubble, is we have to try new things, even if it seems like very bizarre. It's because it's not the thing, it's the act of doing something else to get out of, the bubble, out of the rut. And then I think that just brings a new energy in your life, like a new interest, and then you have something to talk about. You have, I don't know, oh my gosh, I went to baton twirling today. Like, I'm not going to become a baton twirler, but it brings something new into your life, a new mix, a new energy, a new, I decided to try a new type of book. Had a friend pick a fantasy book, gave me Aragon. I'm completely hooked. Never ever thought I'd like it. See, there you go. That's a great idea. Is just try a new genre of book. There's a free night at our local museum each week. Try it. Do it. So I'm going to do a few like local things, kind of, since I've moved back to my hometown after being gone 23 years, just kind of be a tourist here again, go do some things, and do maybe some day trips, like not go far, just to see. It's also about having, like, getting it on the calendar and planning for it and anticipating it. And it's on the calendar. There's something there that's coming up. Like, I think this is important. If you haven't tried Red Note, I highly recommend going live there. You might be embraced. Hey, Faye. Yeah, I haven't downloaded Red Note yet. I'm a little, I don't know. I'm going to give that a minute. I'm convinced that TikTok will be back tomorrow, but I want to keep this up. I want to keep going on all of the, on most of the apps. I'm going to try. Yeah, something to look forward to again. It is important. They like smart, accomplished people on the app. Yeah. We have to relearn who everyone is over here. Yeah. It is a big moment in history. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Anyhow, I lost having anything to look forward to. That certainly wasn't helpful for me. It's not helpful. And you have to put it in place for yourself. Well, if TikTok didn't, I wouldn't have found you. I know, I know. You know, it's funny. I've had a YouTube channel for a long time, and I kind of just ghosted it 4 years ago or something. Um, but I think at the time there wasn't live video. If that's a newer thing, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just new to me. But I'm going to. I'm looking at StreamYard as an app that I can go live on multiple platforms, because I've been doing this coffee with Colleen every morning now for 4 months, maybe more, on TikTok. It's been fun. And so we'll see if this format, I mean, I'm literally in my dog walking clothes and my bed head and my coffee. So we'll see how it flies on other apps. But if I use StreamYard, what's interesting, when you go live multiple places, you can see where comments are coming from. So I'll know if people are watching on YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever where it happens to be. I think it must be new because I didn't know YouTube had live either. I didn't either. I didn't. You'll get a worldwide audience very quickly on RedNote. Yeah, I've seen StreamYard is I don't know if you can use it on your phone or not. They might have a phone app. I'm not sure. I've only used it on my PC because I don't know if it's web-based or I don't know. My answer is I don't know. Yeah, RedNote, we'll see. My guess is RedNote will be banned very quickly if they could get TikTok through, since RedNote is fully owned by the Chinese Communist Party. It has been very funny watching people go over there and translate, and some of the big brands, which is kind of funny. If you all saw Duolingo on their TikTok account, was hysterical, like going off to China to learn Mandarin. Very funny. The young people that they put on these social media accounts for big brands are so creative and clever. I think it's funny. I can't seem to click on others in the chat and see their channel or profile. Anyone know how? I don't. Toya, do you? I think am I saying your name right? I think you're a YouTuber. You might know. And maybe it's a setting that I need to change, Beth. I'm just winging it here. Just winging it. It could, yeah, I'm not sure. It could be a setting, maybe. I'll have to look. Oh, you're new to live as well. Okay, so we're all new to live. So we're just figuring this out together. So I'm not sure if you click on your, like, the little round thing next to their name, it's not taking you anywhere. Interesting. I do know one of the settings for YouTube Live is I can save this chat from the live video, and it will stay in with the video when I post it to my regular feed. So anybody that comes and watches the video after the fact will see the chat, the live chat, and can add new comments. So we'll see. Yeah. But I'd be surprised if you can't click somewhere, but I don't know. Because I'm on my phone now. I went live on YouTube yesterday twice. I went on my PC once, and then I went once on my phone. Phone feels a lot easier just because it's familiar, because that's what I've always done on TikTok. But I'm not sure about all of the buttons. Like if I hit that button, oh, that's retouch. It's retouching it's a filter. Oh, somebody was asking me if there was a filter. I don't do filters, but they have filters here. What is this button? Oh, I can do highlights. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. You can report or block them, but you can't. The desktop, I don't know if it had, yeah, I think it had well, it definitely had additional features. So on the desktop, you can share your screen in a live. So I could share something and show you all like you would on a Zoom or something. You're on iPad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I was going to play with StreamYard this afternoon and get going. I did spend some time this morning on Blue Sky. I think it's not as, and you're on your phone as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm on my phone just because it seems the easiest, like most convenient, but I could see using your PC. And I do know the PC, like I was able to use my Logitech camera, my webcam, and that video was so crisp. Like, oh my gosh, it was really good. It was really good. And this one's okay. It's just not as like crisp, I think. But I'll try StreamYard this afternoon. I'll play with it a bit and see what's what. So I was saying I was on Blue Sky this morning. I guess Blue Sky is kind of an alternative to Twitter or X or whatever the hell we call it now. I'm just not, I'm visual. Like I want video, give me a picture. So it's mostly reading there. Although I saw a few people say post more video there. You can't go live on Blue Sky and you can't record in the app, but you record any video and upload it. And they were saying that video on Blue Sky is helpful because not a lot of people are doing video yet. So you can get more reach. Some people were talking about favorited. I have not heard of that one. It's supposed to be similar to TikTok. My guess is there's going to be a lot of new apps. Lemonade seems similar to Pinterest, but with photo slides. Yeah, and Lemonade's gone for us because it's TikTok. It's ByteDance, and it is also dark. Yeah, and CapCut are disabled. Yeah. That was really strange last night on TikTok. I was just scrolling and all of a sudden it said close app. And then there was the message about, Trump and blah, blah, blah. It was very strange. Somebody's doing some power move. I was using CapCut to edit videos. We'll see. I think it's all going to come back tomorrow. I think it's a big power move by Trump. I mean, we don't have to have a political discussion, but whatever. Like, I feel like the shit's going to hit the fan tomorrow. They're like, Trump has like 100 things he's signing into place. I don't know. I'm actually surprised they did it too. I think it is a power move. Like somebody is playing chess here for sure. Yeah, their fines were really huge, so they had no choice to go dark for sure. I think TikTok's going to be back tomorrow, is in my opinion. But I think what's interesting, because there are a lot of new apps like coming out, Blue Sky's getting popular. I've seen some others that are like TikTok prototype. I don't know what the technical jargon is. One of them is called Skylight. I saw that on Blue Sky, and they were talking about if you post on Blue Sky and put videos on Blue Sky, when Skylight comes out, your content will transfer over. I don't know what any of it means, but you see a lot of people coming up with new apps. Eventually, there will be something new and cool, right? There always is. I mean, there was Facebook, there was MySpace, there's always something new and cool. So, yeah, it's a shame how many people are losing income because of a selfish few. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the reasons TikTok went dark. And they're like, Biden's whatever wasn't enough to keep this app going, because they didn't guarantee to the service providers they wouldn't be fined. I think it was more than that. I think they wanted 170 million people to be screaming foul. I mean, there's protests all over the country. So I think it was just kind of a power move. And then a bunch of people were like, well, Meta is going to buy TikTok. I'm like, they've already said they're not selling to Meta. And if they do, Meta's not getting the algorithm, which is what they want. So I don't know. I don't understand all the techie stuff. I do know TikTok is a, really unique algorithm. But I feel like other platforms as well, like YouTube. Because I like video. I like, and like I said yesterday, I was scrolling on TikTok at 3 a.m., of course, but I started researching in preparation for the darkness. YouTube. And because I was always intimidated by YouTube because it feels very edited and polished, and the videos that you make are, you know, fancy. And I'm like, that's a little intimidating. And not to mention how much, like, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of hours to do that. But what I found in my little bit of research was this kind of more what they called low effort vlogging is back. Like what I'm doing here, you just go live, you talk, you're low effort, meaning like not a lot of editing or anything like that. Obviously, live, it just is what it is. But even video that you record. And then what's so funny is I found a video and they were calling it grandpa style vlogging. And basically, grandpa style vlogging is just, you know, how a lot of the YouTube videos are like people behind a desk and the microphone and the fancy setup and everything. It's more just like grandpa sitting in his favorite easy chair, just talking to the camera. I'm like, I could do that. I can do that. So that's what we're going to go with. But YouTube is more effort in the sense, you know, it's very keyword because it's a search engine. So it's very keyword driven. Hooks are important. So the words you use are important. Whereas other apps like TikTok, they definitely listen to what that you say and whatnot. Also, we can't reply to other comments. We'll search your name, Beth. It's probably me. It's probably a setting that I didn't look at. I will look at that. This is good to know. So you can only just comment. You can't say, oh, Beth, yeah, I agree. Okay. It could be, maybe it's a setting on my end. I don't know. Hang on. I'm going to hit a button. If I hang up on y'all, I apologize. Let's see. Community moderation. Live chat on. Participant mode. Oh, nope. It looks like message delay, none. Blocked words. I haven't done that. Community defaults. What is that? No, that's just filters. Yeah, it's hard to find users on YouTube. You have to have either a link to their account or the exact username. Because I know a lot of people were looking for me under the Third Act Collective, and my username on all my platforms is Colleen Kohanek. I think because children use the app. I think you're right. And one of the things I have to click when I go live is this appropriate, or is this made for children or not? And the instruction is, if it's not explicitly made for children, say that it's not. But yeah, that's a good point, because there's a lot of kids on here that do gaming and all sorts of things, isn't there? Which makes sense, that it would be more regimented or more rules in place. We'll see. It's all a learning curve. All a learning curve, which I enjoy, actually. I kind of enjoy winging it, seeing what happens. Just seeing what happens. So, yeah. So, okay, back to our inventories and our adventures. I love the idea of even something as simple as trying a different book genre. I think that's great. It's very, it's low stakes. Like, it's not like you're picking up and moving across the world or something. It's low stakes. You read a little bit, you don't like it, don't keep reading it, kind of thing. That's kind of why I didn't want to go do like a watercolor class. It was like 10 sessions. I'm like, that's way too commitment, much too commitment for me. I can't do, I'm not doing that. I'm not willing to commit that much to it. But I think there's a lot of ways. I think if you look at, continuing education, look in your local, like we have here, like our counties, like we have local, like parks and recreation. You get a little magazine, they have different programs. They have, it's just about noticing other stuff. I don't know. It's just this, this idea of looking beyond what you always do and just do something out of the blue, just to do it, just to shake things up a bit. I think sometimes that's enough to get us out of a rut. It's kind of like even during the day, I work from home, so I'm always home. I will literally get up, leave my apartment, like walk around, go outside, just like kind of shocks my brain. Like sometimes you just get so tunnel. Like I got to get out. I got to get out. Change of scenery is good for sure. So those are some of the things, the baton twirling. I'm going to go through that list today of the 1,200 hobbies because that's a lot. That's a lot. It'll be interesting, but she did a ton of it's like a really big document. So we'll see. But it's all categorized, and 200 of them, which I thought was interesting, are what she called couch friendly hobbies, which is interesting, I guess, for people who are, let's see, Beth, I couldn't find, can you post a link in yours in school? Yeah. Yeah. That's funny that, YouTube channels are harder to find. I know one big thing on YouTube is when you start doing videos, one of the things is to become a recommended video. Like those videos you see on the side when you're watching a video and you become a recommended. I think that has to do with keywords and things like that. Yeah, just to clear your head. Absolutely. Sometimes you just need to step out. I usually take Trixie for a walk. Right, Trix? But not today because it is frigid cold. Woo! It is frigid cold. Even little Trixie didn't want to stay outside this morning. Although all of our snow is gone. That's good. Got to go. When you on next? Oh, Toya, probably tomorrow morning again. I'm going to try just to kind of keep doing these coffee with Colleen. So it would be the same time-ish. Like right now, it's almost 8 a.m. my time zone. So 7 a.m. is usually when I'll be on. And I will do a little more digging about if you have subscribed to my channel, if there's notifications or something, I will, or if I can like create an event where it's scheduled and you see it. 2 p.m. for you. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Have a good day. Have a good day. So we'll figure out this YouTube thing. We'll figure it out. And like I said, I'm going to play with, yeah, I'm so glad it worked out too. Yeah. I'm going to play with, like I said, StreamYard later and just see. I'll be really interested to see where this kind of format, this coffee in the morning, works and doesn't. I'm sure it's not going to work well on every platform. Also, none of your bio shows up unless you click on more about this channel. Okay. And it could be, I wonder if that's just from like, if you're on your iPad, wherever you're looking from. I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with YouTube yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. But I'll play with StreamYard because I would be curious to see like this type of just, coffee with Colleen in the morning. If it works, like say like on LinkedIn, you can go live on LinkedIn. I'd be curious. That one would be kind of though, like most of my LinkedIn are old corporate people. I'm like, oh my God, my old boss is going to see me in my bedhead in my jammies. I don't care, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to see, but we'll see. I think this week is going to be a big week for all of us here in the US. We'll see. I do think TikTok will be back, but it was it was just a really great reminder to don't put all your eggs in one basket. And if there's a way to, be more than one place at one time, it'll be, I think, helpful to build an audience elsewhere. I'm not deleting Meta just because I do have, a lot of people over there. I open LinkedIn once a year. Heather, I've been kind of the same. However, what I have been learning about, I was at a workshop and somebody was talking about LinkedIn, how it really has expanded to more personal brands and whatnot. And so the opportunity is, if you are more of a personal brand or you're willing to do video or live video, most people on LinkedIn do not do that. And so it's easy to get in front of people because video, obviously, any app loves video, especially because it keeps people on the app longer and whatnot. So supposedly it's easier to get some reach. So I'm just experimenting with it. It was suggested that I not delete my old LinkedIn account. I asked because I'm like, these are all like from my corporate days from publishing, like very specific industry. And the consensus was no, like I think I have 2,000 or 3,000 people over there. Like those people can share your stuff, comment, just start doing your new thing and see what happens. So we'll see. I think I can do with StreamYard. I think I can go live on LinkedIn as well. So I'm going to try like live this show on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and just see where things fly. But I'm going to play with StreamYard this afternoon because I haven't used it in a long time. So I'll just play with it and see how it works. See how it works. But see, like even this, YouTube, doing something new. Or like those in my membership community, we've been doing a social media challenge. To me, that's like adventurous. You're doing something new and figuring it out. To me, that's interesting. Like to have a challenge of some kind and then go do it and figure it out. And you have the initial jitters and you're not sure what to say, but you come in and, you do it. And then second or third time, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. This is easier. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's interesting. Yeah. And Beth, put it in the Third Act Collective membership, put your socials in there as well so people can follow you. For sure. And of course, Rochelle, I think to go live, the numbers are different between going live on your phone and going live on your laptop. I don't know why, but I think on your phone, to go live on your phone, you need, I think 50 subscribers. I saw that. I think on your laptop, I don't know that you have to have a specific number of subscribers, but you do have to, quote, verify your account in settings. If you Google, how do I verify my YouTube account? It's a setting you click. You have to do that to go live. Oh, you put it in there. Okay, good. Good. Yeah. And if you feel free, if you post anything, on TikTok or YouTube, to bring it into the Third Act Collective community thread and say, hey, give me some loving on this post or whatever to help get going. But I have found some actually really fun accounts here on YouTube. Different stuff. Again, it kind of reminds me of TikTok in the sense that there's so many different niches on here, different things. The bigger challenge on YouTube is finding them. Like you have to explicitly search for something kind of thing. Whereas TikTok, they just feed you a whole bunch of different stuff and see what is interesting to you, which is how I'm on horse talk. I'm on goat talk. I don't know. I know a lot about horses and goats now. Chicken talk. Books, different books. Anyhow, we'll see. I'm going to check it out. And yeah, I will do, in fact, I could do like a resource sheet of some of the people that I'm following on YouTube. There are some that I have found that are just really helpful. I think did I put some in school already? I did find some really good YouTube accounts about starting a YouTube channel, like tips and whatnot. I think I put that in school, but if not, I will check that out because that's helpful. That's helpful to know how to do stuff because I don't know how to do anything in here. And we'll see. I think I have like 280 subscribers here on YouTube. So still a little audience. That's okay. It's 280 people. And these lives, like the gentleman yesterday was, Toya was on yesterday. He found me and we were chatting. And finally he said, just so you know, I'm a 42-year-old male in the UK. I'm like, okay. Cause not everybody has an avatar picture. A lot of people have, like just a letter. Oh, hey, Sylvia, on the way to the airport. Yeah, I think TikTok's going to be back tomorrow. I think Trump is. I think it will be. We'll see. It was very strange when it went dark last night, though. And you just can't even access when you click. I didn't take the app off my phone, but when you click on it, it just says unavailable now, and then says some message about Trump. So I think he's going to use it as some way to try to be some kind of hero, which will be interesting to see. It's dark in Canada as well. Wow. I'm surprised. I wonder why it's dark in Canada. Interesting. I did see a few creators. It was interesting. There was a woman who had lived abroad somewhere, I think in India, and started TikTok while she was there, moved back to, I think, Canada. And she had like a huge, like 1 million followers or something. And her account, she said, I went to TikTok one day and I couldn't access it. And it was because she started the account from an Indian IP, and India banned TikTok a while ago. And she said, I couldn't restore my account. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't switch it over. Oh, you used to live in the US. Maybe you created the account there. I bet that's what it is. You have a US IP connected to your account. Yeah, that's what it is. So it'll be back tomorrow. So do you have TikTok Shop on your phone, Sylvia? If you have TikTok Shop, then you have a US IP attached to your account because Canada doesn't allow TikTok Shop. So you wouldn't see TikTok Shop if it was Canadian. Anyhow, it's all fascinating to me. I don't know. It's just interesting to me. Yeah. Did they even know that? Did they even know that stuff? But I guess, I don't know. I don't understand all that back end IP stuff like that. I think that takes a certain brain. Not sure, but Instagram is going to be slammed. I think it already is. Like somebody was on Instagram was saying like how many new followers they've suddenly gotten. And then people are like, no, don't go to Meta. Like, don't give them the satisfaction. Anyhow, I mean, a lot of people obviously make money from these apps. And so having TikTok gone is a huge economic hit for them. For sure. It's funny. I'm supposed to give a talk on Thursday in this group I'm in on using TikTok Live to build an audience and launch a product. So I have the outline. I'm like, well, I guess I should go ahead and finish it, even just in case TikTok comes back. Because obviously, if it doesn't, there won't be any point. So, yeah, change always, precedes opportunity, 100%. And like we were saying a little bit earlier, there'll be, I mean, I think the silver lining of the whole TikTok thing, which I do think it'll be back, is there are other apps that are trying, it'll bring new apps eventually. I know Mark Cuban is making a lot of noise that he would help fund an app or whatever. So there'll be something. But it is, change. It's just a lot of work, obviously, to change things up. But it's a very good lesson to be, build your business and, your brand on multiple platforms and get everybody on your email list. Get everybody on your email list so you can stay in touch. In fact, I was going to send an email this morning, just like where to find me. So anyhow, but ladies, I'm going to run here. I feel like I've been up forever since we had the fire alarm at 5:30 a.m. this morning. No fire, just false alarm, but we all had to, evacuate and get up and all that kind of stuff. Trixie was very unhappy. I don't want this lesson. I know, Rochelle, I'm with you. You're an excellent content creator. It's funny. I like live video. I don't know if it's because I'm lazy. I know, other people like in the third act collective that like the editing and that kind of stuff. I don't love that, but I'm like, you've got to find what you enjoy doing, so you'll do it. And to me, like this kind of live video is the easiest. And we'll see. Thank you, Sherry. Thanks for finding me. I think what'll be interesting about using StreamYard is people can find you from wherever they're normally getting their content, because most people won't, like if I say, oh, I'm going live on YouTube, if they've never been on YouTube, the likelihood of them coming. Phone, yeah. So here's what I've learned. If you go live on your phone, which I'm on my phone, it is vertical only on your phone for YouTube Live, and horizontal for PC. I did learn that in a lesson yesterday. So I'm on my phone right now. Yeah, that's the only difference, is I'm on my phone this morning. So yesterday I went live twice. I went on my PC where you saw me yesterday, and then in the afternoon I went live on my phone just to see how it's different. And so you can only do vertical on your phone. What's nice about the PC though is you can share your screen. So if you're sharing something, you can share your screen, but phone, you can't do that. I find this to be like an easier format. It's just turn your phone on and go. So we'll see. We'll see how it works. And I don't know, like when I used my phone yesterday afternoon, I had like 5 people that joined, and like 3 of them stayed that I didn't know. So yeah. Yeah, I have heard of OBS. That seems a little complicated. I've heard of it. I think it's kind of like Ecamm, isn't it, for the Mac? I'm going to try StreamYard just because I've used it before. I imagine there's a lot of different apps out there. And to go live on TikTok on any of those, because of TikTok's protocol or whatever it is, you have to get, you don't just attach the account to, like, say, StreamYard. You have to go get like an API key or something. So I need to look at that today. I use that, but it's overkill. Yeah, I think that's a pretty sophisticated tool, isn't it? Yeah. It's a sophisticated tool. And Ecamm, I don't have a Mac, so I have PC, but I have heard of OBS. I'm going to just go for simple. What I've already used that I know how to use. I think that's one of the challenges we have, is there's so many tools. Like people were talking about what they're going to use for editing now, since CapCut went bye-bye with TikTok, which I think will be back. But I used to use an app called InShot, which is easy. It's also just an app on your phone, pretty easy. I'm excited too. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We shall see. So thanks for joining me this morning, ladies. We made it over an hour. I'm glad about that. So I came on, yeah, about 7 a.m. So I appreciate you all coming here and supporting me on YouTube. I will report back what I learn as we figure out all these buttons and whatnot. So you all have a great day. Is Mothership recommending InShot? Yeah, I used InShot ages ago, and it's pretty easy. I just don't know it enough. But she's a really great resource, Mothership, for any editing, trending stuff. Really good. So, all right, ladies, have a great rest of your day. I am going to go get some breakfast and get dressed. And I will see you all in the Third Act Collective, and I will see you here on YouTube and hopefully on TikTok and all of the things. I'm sure there are people out there like literally refreshing TikTok like every hour to see if it's back yet. So, all right, we will see you later. Bye-bye.